Hey everyone, welcome to 99.6 The Howl for the uninitiated. This is an unedited YouTube vlog discussing everything Arizona Coyotes, and thank God for that back-to-back. I never thought I'd say it, but man, that Saturday night game against Pittsburgh was really tough. Just the Coyotes came out so flat, so low energy. It was a write-off from the drop of the puck, and I really hated how all the fans, I just felt we all just wrote off the game. We knew that the Coyotes wouldn't come out hard. They wouldn't skate fast. They won't be aggressive. They won't control the puck or manage the puck well. They wouldn't have dangerous chances, and that's exactly what happened. It was way too easy to write off. And it just it reminded me of the Coyotes of old, and you never want to be reminded of that because those are dark times. They lose 4-0 in Pittsburgh. First period was 0-0, sure. It was alright. Maybe one or two chances for the Coyotes, but Pittsburgh hit 2 or 3 posts in the first 20 minutes, and then finally Crosby, opened the floodgates with a beautiful backhand goal, and from there Pittsburgh just amped it up and took control of the game. So the next night against Washington, 22 hours later, you sort of expect the same thing since it is a back-to-back and it is against the Stanley Cup champions. But you know what? Coyotes came back to the rink and with no morning skate, no practice, just went out there and played within their system, and they grabbed 2 points, which is pretty unbelievable. I thought they played much better than Pittsburgh, obviously. They had a good period, a good first period. Overall, the game was all right. I wouldn't say it was a great game for the Coyotes. I think Washington outplayed them in numerous areas. I think Kemper had a very strong game, and Kemper won the game for us. That's what you need from Kemper. I know he's your backup, and this is his 3rd straight game, or 4th straight game. I forget if he played against Philly in Arizona. But we had to rely on Kemper for this road trip. He might get a rest Tuesday against Detroit. Detroit's a weak team, so maybe Miska might get the start, or Ranta could be ready for Tuesday. That would be 1 week for him to be on IR. But Kemper played great. He stole that game for us. He played like a starter. He played like we needed him to play. On Saturday in Pittsburgh, I thought he was okay. It was more defense. The defensive breakdowns against Pittsburgh were so apparent and so blatant that Kemper really had no chance on most of the goals. But against Washington, the defense was great. They were suffocating in the middle of the ice. They were taking away scoring chances. On the penalty kill, they tried their hardest to take away that Ovechkin shot, but Hjalmarsson and Demers had to block numerous shots from Ovi. And Hjalmarsson was awarded the belt after the game, the Coyotes belt. They were awarded the belt to the best Coyotes player after a win. And Hjalmarsson got it. He took a couple shots to his foot, lingered it off, came back. He's a hockey player. And he played great, sacrificing his body for the team. And it leads to a win. On the forwards end, Panik with 2 points. I mean, Panik's second goal where he roofs it on a partial breakaway. That was a big goal for the team. They get a 2-0 lead against Washington. I thought it really alleviated some pressure. Obviously, Washington came back and scored right away with Backstrom. But then again, Coyotes come back with a power play, and Galchenyuk cleans up some garbage, and they have their 2-goal lead again, 3-1. They go into the third period up 2 goals, so very similar to the Philadelphia game in Philly. And at home, really, no, in Philly. 2-goal lead in the third period. Everyone thinking it's going to evaporate, but Coyotes played more aggressive this time, and they had more offensive zone time being up 2 goals. They were dumping the puck in at the right moments. They weren't just chucking it away down the boards. They try to gain possession into the zone and then evaluate their options and then throw it behind the net. Washington couldn't get much going in the first minute or so. They had a couple chances, but other than that, I thought the Coyotes closed it out perfectly. They didn't really turtle, and like I said, they're aggressive on the puck carriers. They had some offensive chances, and in the end, Stepan throws it into the empty net. and they win. They got 2 points. They were in a playoff spot for 2.5 hours. So I hope you guys savored for those 2.5 hours. But unfortunately, Colorado beat Edmonton. And so the Coyotes are out of this playoff spot by 2 points with a game in hand. And they're 4 points out of second and third in the Pacific with 2 games in hand. So those are games they could win, those 2 games or that 1 game in hand and be in a playoff position. So the way they're situated is really good. They went 1-1-1 on this road trip so far. Just get a win in Detroit. I know it's an easy team. I know we all want to say it's a gimme game, but it's not. They're going to have to come out hard, just as hard as they came out against Washington. They can't take a day off. And after Detroit, they got Nashville and Boston. So it's still a tough week ahead. They're right in the thick of things, which most analysts predicted. They predicted the Coyotes would be a bubble team, and that's exactly where they're at. A couple teams are faltering. Anaheim, Vegas, obviously LA, Chicago are having bad seasons. So Coyotes need to take advantage of teams that are going to fall from the top. You know, Vancouver and Calgary, they're inconsistent teams. So once they start to plunder, Coyotes need to ramp it up and try to leapfrog those teams. Chychrun, I think he may be back for Tuesday against Detroit because they sent down Mermis, who was called up for the road trip just in case someone got banged up. But Goligoski did get banged up and injured, but for some reason they didn't play Mermis. So they probably thought he was inexperienced to play against Pittsburgh and Washington. So with sending him down, either Goligoski is healthy again or Chychrun's ready, and Detroit would be a good, less aggressive team to play against to throw him in out there, get some skating before he faces Nashville and Boston. But that's just me. I'm not a coach, so we'll see what happens. That's it. Really good game against Washington. Outplayed, yes, but a great bounce-back game than that Pittsburgh game. I think we should all forget that Pittsburgh game ever happened and just move on. And I'm so happy that the team had an opportunity to do that so shortly after the game, and they actually did prove that it was in the back of their minds. So that's great to see, and that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support.